be attacking first. While the GEEKSTAR want to put Yon1 back on the Sombra if they're going to be going for that classic 3-3 and no longer want to take that duel where they were so disadvantaged.
Alright. Gen.G on the offense, like you said. There you go. So classic 3-3 on the defense. Well, kind of classic. It's Leo on the Winston instead. And we do have our resident Lucio back as well. Waffle's we're gonna say sayonara to Waffle for a little while. And Doppy is gonna come in to the roster as our Lucio player. So again, this is another hint to what they can really do with this roster as well. GEEKSTAR, they haven't had the best start at all, but they have the flexibility. And then again, so do Gen.G. Of course, they have GEEKSTAR on their bench. I think it's important, especially in this meta, to have like these big specialists. I mean, bringing Doppy in as this Lucio god, like it makes a whole lot more sense, especially on a map that requires the rotations to be so quick and so efficient.
For now, we'll have to see where Gen.G want to go. Fuse for now is hanging out on that Rotok. We'll actually swap back over on the same. It's going to be 3-3. They want to play the Reinhardt bet instead of a Winston, which Leo is currently touting. And you talked about specialism. Doppy, though, he is a specialist Lucio, but I wonder if he is actually specialized towards playing with this Winston that Leo's currently showing.
Oh dear. Taking a whole bunch of damage. This is exactly what we normally see, especially if they are attacking. If they know they're attacking against a Winston comp, they do take this high ground to start off with, but it does mean Leo gets a little bit of ult charge. Of course, 6 people getting Tesla foiled. It's pretty nice.
It does also mean that a lot of spot ultimate charge will go over to Gen.G. They're trying to overwhelm Leo at the moment, getting the projected barrier and using his own bubble to survive. And once again, Gen.G. stymied in their aggressions, putting a foot forward, but taking 2 steps back.
That's pretty nice. Already up to 70%. Not too bad, not too bad. Point has a very open back to it as well. You got to remember that. Receives a personal barrier from Zaya, so he should be okay for the time being. But now Gen.G can just solidify themselves on the point. No. Oh, okay. Well, maybe not. Well, Dance gets jumped on and Gable C actually takes him out. I was going to say, now they can just cement themselves on the point. It's going to be pretty easy because there's no consistent shielding from GEEKSTAR. But it doesn't seem to matter if you leave your supports out in the wilderness, basically. Fuse is going to go down as well. The rest of Gen.G just going to go for a quick reset, potentially jumping off the edge. Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah, with some pretty budget cement, I'm afraid, Jules. GEEKSTAR going to be holding pretty strong here. Leo's getting incredibly aggressive, finds himself faced with Wuyao and Stalker. He's going to say, you know what, I'm just going to pass on this one. I'll see you guys later. See you on the next attack.
Yeah, I think he meant to actually get on top. I don't think he meant
Dance
to go...
my love.
Well, yeah, we took him out friendly. Dance is actually not too bad. Ult charge right now, like 75%, not too tragic considering he did go down first. Look at this roundabout on Oberon. Has to get out rather quickly, and they're might have to wait for shields to come back here.
Leo will not have to leap away now. He could be very vulnerable. We'll use the primal rage to give himself 1,000 extra HP, but he's got to be careful.
Dance is actually off to the side. Gen.G are going to have to strike now, otherwise Dance is just going to go down for free, basically. Graviton Surge coming out from Yon1 on the doorway, finds absolutely nobody. Now Gen.G can rotate to the point with just basically immunity. They have 6 ults online. GEEKSTAR, come to us.
Tragedy there for Yon1. Going to try and make the engagement.
Oh, the grab on the wall was good. Forcing the double layering of support ults. Both self-destructs have been used as well. Neither of them are going to find anything, but Gen.G still open up the fight with a kill onto the Lucio. It means GEEKSTAR are going to have to play a whole lot more safe.
They have the advantage with the sandbar as well. Wikid will fall low and go down. Leo, what's going on, man?
Found 2 people. Dance is going to fall. Wiki's going to follow him as well. GEEKSTAR still in this fight. They're not out just yet. Rally has been used by Assassin as well in this fight, so that does mean there's so much armor. Look at this. It's just cleaving through with the damage of Assassin and Leo. Leo goes to absolutely man mode and manages to take out 2, just halting the push of Gen.G.
And he's almost got himself another Primal Rage already. Not going to stay there for long, Jaws. But Gen.G, they look flummoxed here on first point. They had a 6 ultimate push. And there was basically a wasted grab from Yon1. They still lost because Leo was doing so much damage with that Winston. And then Stalker found himself caught out. Trying to move forward now. Wikid going to push everyone forward for Rally. But Leo, the Primal Rage once again, ready to go. And who's almost there as well.
All right, nice pick off to start off the fight for GEEKSTAR. They find Dance. Someone takes him out, but they trade him for Assassin. The Graviton Surge is going to come in. Primal Rage doing a whole lot of work. Stalker going extraordinarily low. He's going to get killed off by Leo, who's still on a tear. But this time around, the Gen.G tanks end up coming out on top. Leo can't solo carry this fight, unfortunately, not on a Winston. He's been trying, but it's pretty hard. Pollitt is going to be able to kill him off in the end, and Gen.G finally take the point. He had 12 seconds to spare. Taking them 4 minutes and 12 to move on to next.
I've got flashbacks, Jaws, to people not checking divas. Happened on Lijiang Tower, and it's happening here on Hanamura first. This time it's Wuyao being able to clean up all those kills. The brawling power of Diva without those reloads, being able to get in close cannot be underestimated. Gen.G for now, they seem to be a little bit cautious as to what their approach angle is, waiting for Stalker, it would appear, so they will have 4 ultimates available, neither of their primary support ultimates though. Who's going to have the advantage when it comes to that Transcendence? But Rally moving forward could mean that Gen.G have momentum in their favor.
Alright, Rally into an instant disengage from GEEKSTAR. I don't want to fight it just yet. Shatter only hits 1, it's going to be .pu, who ends up going down. Fuse is going to jump right on top of his head. Stalker with the grab can just play this one rather slowly, rather easily. He knows there's not really much they can do now. Self-destruct more defensively used by GEEKSTAR, but doesn't actually find anybody. Another self-destruct comes in. Can that net anything? No, it cannot. But Hual actually gets taken down in the meantime. The Baby Demon form, not quite hardy enough for the Goats comp.
Leo almost has that shadow, could be incredibly important, but he's dead before he can use it, Jaws.
Beat from Gen.G as well.
Stalker needs to survive.
They need to survive. They are going to, but they need to now deal with the sound barrier coming through from GEEKSTAR. Doppy's going to be able to get back to the fight rather easily, but a rally going off for Gen.G gives them a lot of over armor. It's going to be hard to take them out now, but Oberon going down before he actually received anything does mean Gen.G now have to back off.
Dopey there, big hero 6, managed to get the assassination onto Stalker, the primary source of damage for Gen.G. Assassinated by Lucio. He got so low, thought he was safe behind Oberon's shield, but coming around the paper lanterns for Lucio with the sound waves, giving a little bit of extra tinnitus. And now GEEKSTAR, they have so many offensive tools at their disposal. All 3 of their tank ultimates. Gen.G going to be coming in with just 1. The momentum has been halted, and that time bank is slipping away.
Instant engagement onto Leo. Does receive the armor pack, so that burst healing now not available. Counter charge even from Leo to keep him in the fight. But look at that. The rest of his team are already disengaged. Maybe perhaps slight miscommunication. He was left up on there on his own, even though he had time to move after he got sent to the ground. And now Gen.G on the point. They're going to get grabbed on it as well, but self-destruct's going to have to do a little bit more something, because that Shadow definitely did. One person down, Young1 is going to get pinned against the wall. Dance is also going to find a kill of his own. Look at this, counter, slam, doesn't really net all of anything. And now the staggering of GEEKSTAR members onto the point. We're even seeing a Widowmaker coming out from Young1 to try and find an instant pick.
Leo got 2 kills. This could be what GEEKSTAR need. This could give them some semblance of attrition.
Don't think it's going to do it, though. Young1 actually on the high ground now. He's doing a lot of damage, Harry, but he can't really find picks. There's a whole lot of health you actually have to chew through. A self-destruct is actually used to push them off the high ground. And Gen.G, they end up capping second. GEEKSTAR with a bit confusing picks. I mean, the Widowmaker not really doing a whole lot. Maybe going a Doomfist to disrupt the front line.
Not the fastest of caps right there. 1 minute and 22 will remain. However, it is still a completion. And it is a completion with over a minute left. That means that GEEKSTAR, if they want to stay in Hanamura, they have to get a completion before overtime strikes. If overtime strikes before GEEKSTAR can get their completion, we will be able to see additional rounds.
Well, GEEKSTAR now get the chance to attack, of course. We just really reset them on the feeds. Shouldn't be too bad. Shouldn't take too long. But Gen.G, we'll tell you what they are running on the defense. Of course, it's just a normal Goats combo, looks like, with Winston instead of the Reinhardt instead. Should be coming back on your screens very shortly. Do not worry. Do not worry. We have your back. We good.
Just for the time-space continuum, just having a little bit of a wobble there. It was like,
it's fine.
Why are they playing Widow? This ain't right. This ain't reality.
Sombra hacking our PCs. It was an easy joke to make.
Apagando las luces.
Is that how it's pronounced?
I think. Turning out the lights.
Okay. I don't know any Spanish, so...
Yeah, I know vamos.
Which is move, right?
I think so.
Okay. Well, you even think... Okay.
GEEKSTAR need to do that right now. We need to have more than... We need to cap before overtime. As we said, GEEKSTAR are going to be rolling out with classic 3-3. Gen.G going to be mirroring the defense as well. Going to see Winston from Oberon. Hopefully he'll be able to do as much damage as Leo did. He was incredibly effective on that hero. Already he's got a protected barrier. He can use his own bubble to sustain himself, getting that cleave damage from a Tesla coil.
That is not where you want to be with Doppy right now. He ends up backing off. Not too much of an issue for him. Obviously he can just speed around the walls, but if he got knocked out even further, he would have went down. Oberon just being so aggro. Look, he's been way more aggro than Leo did. He's already got 70% charge. He's like, it was neck and neck for what Leo was doing last round. And again, another wrap around up onto the high ground for GEEKSTAR as they do make their initial push.
Doppy, he's throwing himself out the window, will regroup with his team after just squaring up Zobon. Big booth potentially there. Everyone moving out onto a point, going to try and lay their claim to this territory, but Oberon's almost already got that Primal Rage.
And that open-ended point right at the back is very, very bad if you are on the receiving end of a Primal Rage. So he's trying to segregate the healing now. Big Primal Rage from Oberon. Or not where you want to be. There you go. He finds one kill at least. Youngwon actually killed himself. Must have used the mortar actually onto the wall. Oberon wouldn't have got any ult charge for that anyway, so Comment really didn't make... There wasn't a whole lot of value in that at all. But Gen.G ended up securing the point, and using one ultimate as well was pretty quick and clean. However, GEEKSTAR still managed to find a tick, so not too bad on their front.
Great peel there as well from Gen.G to try and save Wakid, who went so low. Basically saw everyone just round upon Assassin, who'd made a beeline for Wakid, like, okay, if I'm going down, you're going down with me. Gablesy and Yeonwon slightly behind Huyol and Stalker in terms of being ready to go with that combination. But of course, Oberon's going to have a lot less consistent shielding to try and protect his team. You can see the bubble's already been used. This could be the moment to go for that combination.
Wow, Assassin's already goes down. Stalker just tracking him through. He's got the Graviton Surge as well. The rest of Gen.G are going to go Quantum. GEEKSTAR not in a good place at all. Stalker wasn't even right-clicking into it. He knew his team. Just had the rest of those kills. It wasn't too much of a problem. Baby D.Va ejected over the wall, ends up resetting himself as well. And now GEEKSTAR just need to go on the offense once more. There's 15 seconds, 2 minutes and 15 seconds even have already elapsed. They have got tank ults online, but used both support ults in that fight.
All three. Assassin used for rally as well, and that means they're not going to have anything to try and defend themselves from Gen.G if they get aggressive with the additional sustain. However, Gen.G won't have that consistent shielding. Like I said before, if they can force a bubble out of Winston, they can go for that Graviton Surge and Self-Destruct combination with quite ridiculous efficacy.
They're playing on the high ground now to make the grab a little bit harder to actually land. And you know Dance is ready. He can use the trance. They can negate a lot of this tank ult pressure. Use the beat for the shatter, use the trance for the grab. I was very meta in the EU scene. There's a grab on the side of the wall. It's going to get used at least, but that self-destruct is just going to destroy the rest of Gen.G. Like you said, no consistent shielding means you can't really block up any of that damage, and GEEKSTAR are able to cap the point in a bit more time than Gen.G were able to.
Gen.G aren't even respawned yet, and already they're stepping onto the point. There's going to be no ability to set up on the high ground here. Gen.G just need to get on the point and contest Leo.
They got that rally. They're using it to start off with. A Graviton Surge straight onto the point. Leo and the rest of the team instantly dealt with. I guess that's one of the benefits of taking the first 2 ticks and then going for a re-engage. You only need to capture 33%. You instantly get the point, and then you can run instantly into the second and then force Gen.G to fight from their spawn. But beautiful ult from Stalker did halt the push of GEEKSTAR for now.
Yeah, thank you, base Stalker there, saving the hopes of Gen.G, getting a big 3-man grab and allowing for Overwatch to actually overtake Leo in ult charge after swapping over to that Reinhardt by swinging into the Graviton, delivering that 75 per swing damage to them as well. Leo going to be now leading fourth GEEKSTAR. Once again, going through high ground. We'll have to see if there'll be a group disengage from Gen.G here. Well, Huyol is going to have a little bit of a scout. Oh, Leo, that's aggressive.
That was close. That was a very close pin, actually. Dance almost went down. Instant transcendence as well before they hit the floor. And a beat is going to fade away from Gen.G as well. They haven't got that to use now. And now Leo goes aggressive. They got the rally going off, but that shadow is going to still hit.
Down.
He was still in the air. And people just didn't get out of the way. Unbelievable. GEEKSTAR still getting routed in the back line. That's not where you want to be if you're Stalker right now. 3 people on top of him. He instantly falls. A Transcendence to maybe see them through the fight, but GableC sends out the self-destruct to net Oberon.
A huge assassination onto Stalker as well. Now Gen.G need to all get together and make a 6-man push. They're running out of time. Stalker's already looking there. There's going to be the contest from Wuyol. There's the Graviton Surge.
Nice Graviton Surge, though, from Gen.G to pin people off of the point to stop capture percent. Huyol actually finds 1 kill as well, and Doppy as he does send out the self-destruct. Wakid's still on the point, fighting and ready and raring to go. They just need to kill one person by one person, and then GEEKSTAR will run out of fuel. They eventually managed to get it, but what a grab from Stalker to initiate that engagement.
Good job from Ruyol as well, to just be able to hide out in the back, wait for everyone to be available, then come into the back of a point, stop that progress from moving forward, and then Fuse just goes full assassin mode. He gets the headshot assassination onto Leo, gets the same thing onto GearBullsy, and then you really do have attrition on your side. Gen.G, once again, going to be stalking up on the high ground. I want to see if they'll hold their ground for a little bit longer here, if they're going to make the disengages. There it is once again. It's going to be the risky pin from Leo, but does get the projected barrier to keep himself safe.
Yeah, they knew he was going for it, so you could see instantly Gen.G. You hear that voice line, you just kind of back off. Fuse is actually skirting around the top side, but ended up falling as well. Shadow went a little bit wide as Oberon gets jumped on, just mixed up in the team. Brain scrambled, and GEEKSTAR only need 33% as well. Gen.G using that Transcendence fairly late. It's going to keep the Baby Diva alive for the time being, but instantly gets taken out as the Transcendence fades away. Oberon coming back on the ball as well, buying a little bit more time. Self-destruct instantly kills off 2 people. And GEEKSTAR managed to cap the second point. Greater time bank than Gen.G as well.
Yeah, it was such a scramble there. Gen.G didn't really have anything to keep themselves safe. After the initial scramble to get back from 2 ticks and surviving that, they used both of their support orders to make that work. Dance just got the Transcendence. It's a little bit too late. I would have liked to have seen potentially Gen.G staying up on that high ground, trying to punish Leo making that same aggressive charge. The bubble won't protect him for too long. It'll only absorb about 200 damage, and then it will fade away. And after that, Wakib would be in position to go for a big shield bash, maybe get the stun onto an overextending Reinhardt. I don't know if disengage there was for play. Potentially, they were just hoping with Dance to be able to hit a couple of orbs and have that Transcendence ready, but unfortunately, not enough. GEEKSTAR will have a superior time back here by a factor of 23 seconds.
Yeah, we talked a little bit earlier on about how Leo has been standing up with the best. I mean, people like QOQ, yeah, I mean, the rest have run away as well. They're going to... They're just undefeated right now. I don't know how really to put it into words. They are just a team that's on a warpath and will continue to be so for the rest of the season. But Leo still contending with some top tanks. Oberon doing the same as well. Him and Leo just are loggerheads. It seems like they're very even when it comes down to kind of reading each other when it comes to shatters. Even though there was that one time, which I think a lot of people will try and forget from their memories, erase from their memories, when Oberon get knocked up into the air and then still lands the shatter. It's always kind of frustrating when that happens.
Yeah, to be fair, that one wasn't Leo's fault. He wasn't in a position to block it anyway.
I know you're saying that as a main tank player.
Gen.G, Leo, once again, on the Winston, is going to be getting that cleave. Not quite as much as Oberon got, only 25% of the way towards that. It's going to be another bout of cleave coming through from him. He's going to very quickly get this Primal Rage, and Gen.G don't have time to mess about with this, really. 50 seconds remaining. They're going to have to get themselves onto a point if they want to get a second attack here.
This is one attack. This is a one attack fight right now. They have to get it. Already up to 75% is Leo on this Primal Rage. This could end it right here and there.
First tick though.
Okay, so it's no longer going to be a draw. It's not, well, it is kind of possible still, but improbable to say the least. Oberon finds the initial kill. Leo actually gets stunned in the corner, had Primal Rage as well, so couldn't actually activate the ultimate. GEEKSTAR now pushing onto the point, just trying to die as quick as they can to get back to second. They don't want to happen like it did last time. You could see Gen.G just sprinting on to second. They do manage to cap, add an additional 30 seconds to their time, but again, one fight is all GEEKSTAR need to sustain through.
Dopey there very much caught out. Oberon does have now the premium on the Earth Shadow compared to Leo, who's had to swap over to the Reinhardt, get that consistent shielding available. Wakid can push everyone forward with a rally, and soon we will see all the support ults coming out from Gen.G as they claim their position on the point and pressure onto Leo. See if the Lion will break underneath the claws of Gen.G.
Well, there's the rally from Wakid to send them forwards. The armor only lasts for about 30 seconds, so it's going to last it into overtime at this point, so a nice beneficial ultimate to use early on. Both support ultimates are available. They use one also to start off the fight, but it's going to get mashed by who? And now Graviton Surges from Sorko and Youngwon are going to go completely uncontested. Big Shadow hits the floor, but Graviton Surge straight onto Leo. He gets caught out unawares, completely alone. And Youngwon uses his own grab, but there's no follow-up apart from that bomb. But look at that positioning from Oberon, saving the rest of his team. Gen.G with still 6 members alive on the point.
What time bank, Jaws? We're just going to claim it anyway. 4 people on the point. No one can really get here from GEEKSTAR. There's going to be no contest. And like you said, Oberon there, just making a beeline for grab, like, I'm coming in, guys. Let me be a part of this. Oh, we just managed to take out Leo twice so quickly. You might as well just rename Gen.G to the Zodiac Killers.
Leo got destroyed. He was like, nah, just solo grab him. Like, whatever. We remove him, then we can get more grabs. We can get more damage down because there's no shield in the way of us. And then Oberon, like you said, jumping in the way of that self-destruct. Bam. Absorbing it for his team. And Yeon did throw that out. It was like, okay, I'm going to get 2 people here. It can't get eaten because defense matrix is down. But there's no follow-up after that because Leo wasn't around. No one can really do anything, and then self-destruct went wide. Well, it didn't go wide. It got absorbed into the shield of Oberon.
Oberon could actually only shield one person. He actually made the right decision there. He could either shield Wuyal or he could shield Stalker. And it seemed like Stalker didn't have a personal barrier available, so Oberon opts to shield Stalker, knowing that Wuyal will actually just have his mech die. He can use self-destruct and then remech quite easily. So it's the correct decision there from Oberon to go for that particular block. And now, Gen.G on the defense, no longer going to be opting for the Winston despite Oberon's previous efficacy on that hero. Instead, it will be Reinhardt versus Reinhardt. I imagine we're going to see some gate-based clashes here and then disengagements to the point.
1 minute and 45, like you said. That's a couple of fights at least, maybe 3.
Depends on how long they take to get to
the
a point. We have seen a lot of posturing from these teams on
I
the
mean,
right-hand side.
Yeah, that very. I mean, yes, sure, but at the same time, like, there's no Winston, so surely right now you just run straight through the center. Makes way more sense. Unless they do posture, which,
Dancer's in a
like I said, does burn a lot of time. You see, there you go. There's no posturing here. They just want to go straight for the point. They know time bank and speed is of essence.
Yeah, GEEKSTAR going in very deep once again. Flashback to the Lijiang Tower. Will anyone be caught out? Is the question. Will Yol lose his mech? May well lose his life as well.
This is bad. This is bad news bears for Gen.G right now. They're going to back off onto the point and look at the Leo. Posturing so well is halfway to his ultimate, and Oberon's only 14%. Like, he needs to get it fast. Nice pin onto Leo, but he gets instantly killed before the pin can actually connect. Yeon securing the kill and Oberon's life is going to make sure Leo survives that engagement. And now GEEKSTAR finding a tick and should find the point as well. An extra 30 seconds will be out of the time bank, over a minute to attack second point, which could net themselves in a 2-fight territory rather than 1, which Gen.G were on.
And when you win draws against 3-3, you get so much ult charge. Look across GEEKSTAR right now. No one's sitting below 70%. All 6 ultimates are going to be available in the forthcoming fight. Oberon is so far behind. 31% of the way. Not what he wants. Dance will have to pull the trigger on the Transcendence at the optimal time, potentially against Yeon with the Graviton Surge. But he may feel pressured if Assassin moves forward with this rally, or who brings out the Transcendence in a more aggressive manner. We'll have to see what positioning will be. 45 seconds remain on the clock as Leo places himself between these lanterns.
Oh dear, Huyal did get jumped on. He's going to have to back off, use those thrusters. And now Leo actually has Shatter. He's earned so much in that fight. Oberon's 50% behind. Almost 6 ultimates available for GEEKSTAR now. They use the Shatter in the back line. Second tick has been acquired, and with 30 seconds remaining, a grab gets eaten. Huyal eats it, and then Gable C eats a grab as well. Double eat, plus the Transcendence from Gen.G. Make sure they can defend. GEEKSTAR are going to use a Transcendence of their own. That bomb's going to have to be big, and it is. Yeon ends up going down. Gen.G might have defended this with their lives. There's no way GEEKSTAR are going to be able to get back now. Oberon earns himself a Shatter at the end. It didn't matter how far he was behind because Leo laid his out into the shield. Gen.G, by the skin of their teeth, managed to defend Hanamura.
It's an all-you-can-eat astrophysical buffet right here. 2 Graviton Surges going down 2 even darker holes into the D.Va stomachs. Leo not picking up much there with that either. Some beautiful Graviton eats there from GEEKSTAR and Huyal, reading the enemy's Zarya so effectively. And GEEKSTAR were in such a good position there. They just weren't able to close it out. Huyal shouldn't have been able to get Yeon.
There were 6 ults. Leo was in such an odd position as well for Shatter to actually connect. He was, of course, Shatter can go up the stairs, but it just did not connect with people in the back line. I believe that was a personal bubble, I think, from the Zarya to block most of that incoming Shatter. Of course, Shatter's a ripple effect as well, so if you're able to kind of test it out, it's not instantaneous. He was able to block it. Gen.G now up 2-1 in the series as we move on to Junkertown. This could end right here. We'll see if GEEKSTAR can find going Junkertown, then bring us onto our tiebreaker map, which will net their first series win of Contenders. We'll be right back, guys. Do not go anywhere. Couple of minute break. Hey guys, welcome back. The final match of this evening, or morning, or afternoon, wherever you're from. GEEKSTAR versus Gen.G, and this could be the final map as well. Junkertown is, of course, on the chopping block. Gen.G taking Hanamura by the skin of their teeth, running up against GEEKSTAR, who had 6 ults online. They just couldn't make anything stick.
Speaking of on a chopping block, currently Gen.G want to put GEEKSTAR in a position where they would be 0-3 in terms of matches without a win to their name. But of course, GEEKSTAR currently do have the option to take us to that map 5 if they can only play out this Junkertown in the optimal manner and get themselves that 1 on the board. And then they draw even with Gen.G. It would be 1-1 for 1-2 for each.
Man, it's we've already seen one almost instant Junkertown take today, or instant Junkertown defend today. It was kind of insane. It's always really interesting watching these payload maps like instantly end. It's like, oh, we defended for 4 minutes, and now
there's
we
a
get
whole rest of the map, by the way, guys.
30-second map. Well, round number 2. It's great. It's fantastic. It makes for really good Overwatch. Just cap 3 places,
makes for
then
some
go to
games,
6,
games
and then go to 9.
To be fair, like one of the most impressive Junketowns we saw was in the first week of Overwatch League, Los Angeles Valiant versus Dallas Fuel. That went what, 7-8, maybe 9-8.
Yeah, something
they
absolutely
had
ridiculous.
Full completions in overtime of the second round.
It's cool to see overtime fights because it really does come down to ult management at that point, right?
As well as positional management.
Yeah, true. I mean, Junkertown especially, because it's so hard, especially if you manage to cap the first point and then you move on to second. The defense has just such a massive priority in terms of high ground. If they manage to lose a couple of members early on in the fight and then just kind of stagger out on the point before the attackers manage to cap, you could don't worry about the first point like at all. Obviously we've lost it, so then we'll get high ground and then move on from there. And if if attackers are able to take the defenders off of the high ground, it could be such a menace, and pushes can really just end right there and then.
Yeah, high ground can also be so important on Junkertown, especially if you're going to try and leverage some more DPS-centric picks. Like recently in Europe, we saw Widowmaker Extraordinaire KSP from Team UK just take over Junkertown with his Widowmaker, just destroying incoming 3-3 compositions. People trying to go dive to try and sort them out, but it's really hard to cross the open areas of Junkertown, especially on first. If you get Widowmaker up on top of that water tower, you've really got to bring out an enemy sniper or try and get a really good right click from Zenyatta if you want to try and take them out.
We've seen Spectre as well throw himself off the map on a Widowmaker by accident.
That's true.
That was a 10 out of 10 clip. If you've not seen that, it's on Twitter somewhere. It's of their comms. Yeah, there you go. It's of their comms as well. It's just like, well, I fell off the map, guys.
I fell off the map, guys.
Guess we go again. It's pretty spectacular. I think, honestly, if you look at both teams, it makes way more sense for them just to go 3-3. I think GEEKSTAR were a little bit thwarted on King's Row. It was like, okay, we really don't want to run the Sombra here. Like, really don't want to. It feels like Gen.G had a grips on that map just so handily. They only managed to get just past the first point when it was a big EMP from Gen.G to really just end the series. Sorry, a big Transcendence from Dance to end the map. Perfectly timed. I mean, it just makes way more sense to go at loggerheads. It seems a little bit more close matched in that instance.
Yeah, it begs the question as to whether Gen.G will feel the pressure to remain on the 3-3, or if they will feel that they can easily flex over onto the Sombra. They can always put Wuyal on there as well. He has been rather effective. We've seen Wuyal play Sombra on Blizzard World before, so they could freely swap between 3-3 and 3-1 with a Sombra, because Wuyal, of course, would usually play the D.Va, and if we see our other player on Sombra, then you usually have to swap around Wuyal from Zarya to D.Va, and you give up a huge amount more ult charge than you would otherwise like.
Well, there it is. There's the map pool on your screens. There's a scoreline as well if you've only just joined us. Unfortunately, it's kind of spoilers, but I don't know why you'd click on the stream if you kind of knew the stream was halfway done.
How can you be spoiled if you're watching it live?
Exactly. Well, you know, if someone just joined us, like, oh, I cannot wait. Hopefully, it's the first series still.
I just noticed Gen.G's logo looks like the hilt of a sword going downwards. Yeah. Wow.
Nice logo. Very cool.
It's actually very cool. I really like the Gen.G colors.
Yeah, same.
Obviously, it looked very good on Soul Dynasty skins.
Yes. The Soul Dynasty skins, I think, color scheme wise,
Soul Dynasty Reinhardt was the first Overwatch League skin I ever bought.
Oh, mine was Soul Dynasty. Actually, mine was Soul Dynasty 2. It was Soul Dynasty Zen.
Ah.
It looks pretty good.
Rouge Hong fanboy.
Yeah, pretty much. Although I didn't want the Ana because I actually like Captain Amaya. It's my favorite Ana skin. If they had, right, this is next level, okay?
Captain Amari with Soul Dynasty colors?
So what I'm thinking is to level up the skin game, Right. You have maybe some of the legendary skins, or maybe like a select legendary skin that's the most popular from each hero, and then you could put the colors from the Overwatch League teams on those
I guess
skins.
you'd have to take one of the base legendary skins, where they usually come in 2 color variants, so you know that the recoloring of a palette is fairly
like
easy.
Captain Mario and the other one
and
I
Horus.
can't remember. Horus, okay, yeah. It's the orange and grey one. But we are into game. Not talking about skins and color schemes, although Gen.G's color scheme is pretty fire. In the gold and the black, of course. Oh, a couple of subs actually for Gen.G. Okay, first time we're saying GEEKSTAR and Creative coming into the roster. Dance and Wakid stepping away.
Okay, Gen.G maybe wanted to come up with something a little bit different here if they've got GLISTER and Creative in the line. Of course, Stalker will remain. Oh, I like what I'm seeing. They're out on the defense. Am I seeing double sniper, Creative on a Roadhog, single support?
Yeah.
3-2-1, but not in the way I was expecting from Gen.G. I thought we were going to go for the old 2 tanks, 3 supports, 1 Sombra, but no. 3 tanks, 2 snipers, 1 Mercy.
Well, Waffle is going to come back in as well for GEEKSTAR. All right, okay. This is a comp I've not seen in a long time. GLISTER, of course, I mentioned it a little bit earlier. Back in his time on X6, he always played second fiddle to BQB
third
and
fiddle.
Godspeed. I mean, yeah, I guess third fiddle, right?
You can't play second fiddle to 2 people.
Yeah. It's like, okay, fair enough. But, okay, so third fiddle to BQB and Godspeed. Now he's getting his time to shine on the Widowmaker. See what he can do. Just like GEEKSTAR changing up their strat entirely here. No Widowmaker to be oh, yeah, there's no way you can get on that cart now, unfortunately, young one. Snipe from GLISTER. Almost managed to take out Who. Got to be very careful. That is really the linchpin of this comp, just keeping this Mercy alive with the Bastion on the payload. Already, Leo gets taken out again. Creative's going to find Waffle as well. Oberon, there's no way. He's not just going to left-click into Young-One. They're going to have to change now. There's no way you can hold this far up with Bastion.
Overpowering crossfire as well, and you know that the Dragon Strike here from Stalker will actually move through the shield of Leo. I was wondering if he was going to be using it on a Bastion, but of course Young-One has now changed over. You can have the old London Spitfire combination, which Philadelphia Fusion became painfully aware of when we saw the Overwatch League Grand Finals, combining the Reza Holt with the Dragon Strike. Who getting a pick onto Stalker though? Potentially there could be a res, but looks like he got a little bit too aggressive, and now GEEKSTAR will claim all of that area for themselves.
I don't think they're going to be able to res at all. Look at their rotation. Almost perfect. Jumping over to the 3-3 instead. The Bastion strat not working at all. Ultimate coming through from GLISTER, so they know where everybody is, plus Fuse using that Valkyrie. He can play super low, actually. There's not really much that can take him down. Dragon Strike will end up coming through, however, only just touching the payload. But that does mean Oberon, a little bit worse for wear. 3-3 can just speed on top of him. They instantly take him out. Leo's going fairly low, however, as Creative unleashes the whole hog, but gets instantly dealt with by Who?
Oh, Fuse getting assessed there by Gilbulsi. Stalker didn't want to turn around and give him the help that was required. Gonna have to touch the cart instead. But unfortunately, no one from Gen.G will be here to touch it as it completes
This
through.
is a swap. This is a swap from Gen.G.
That's a full swap right
yeah,
there.
There's no way they're going to stick on this. GLISTER, if Stalker was like near Dragon Strike, I'd kind of understand, but there's no way near. Now Gen.G forced to go 3-3 of their own. Old disadvantage, of course, when you do switch over. Leo premium on the Earth Shatter. Same with Young-One on the grab.
Yeah, huge advantage here for Leo. He can get so much more aggressive compared to Oberon, who's going to have to play catch-up now when it comes to that ultimate. Gilbulsi and Wuyao will be going about equal when it comes to that self-destruct. Wuyao's actually keeping this card contested, and the rest of Gen.G have postured up there, now in the position where you'd usually see the attackers. GEEKSTAR thought they could get aggressive and maybe outfox Gen.G, but now they're having to fight for meters.
They're going to be able to take control of that Mega Health Pack, which could be fairly important. Transcendence from Who to keep GEEKSTAR in the fight. Hopefully they'll be able to do one. Oh, that was a shatter through the wall. You saw everybody's outlines just falling to the ground. Only using 2 ults in that engagement as well. This is what they need to do right now. They can easily snowball this out of control, out of Gen.G's hands. If they're careful enough with the advantage that they do currently obtain. This is 40% away from that grab as well. This is very bad news.
Everyone's going to have to play his shield so carefully here as to deal with a potential combination coming through of the Graviton Surge and Self-Destruct as well. Needs to make sure the shield health is there, but he's also got to get onto the cart, keep it contested. There's the Graviton Surge.
Beautiful grab positioning. They can combo this with their Self-Destruct. They launch it in. It's going to find at least something. Who else does end up going down. GEEKSTAR use 2 ults. They make them work. And they're going to move on to the third point. 4 minutes and 40 seconds now remain. Wow, GEEKSTAR swapping potentially, yeah. So swapping their Xayah over from the Diva onto the Xayah. So OWC now on Xayah. I said Xayah 3 times in 1 sentence. Feels good.
Gonna forfeit that charge over that they had towards a self-destruct so that they can have Yeonwon instead move over on to this Sombra. So he's going to be looking for hacks here, obviously onto Oberon, Wuyol. Stalker may also be a valid target here. For now, he's going to actually stay on the low ground, not usually where you see the Sombra try and play from, but Gen.G have quite the control of high ground.
It's waiting for them to drop. Oberon, they could just walk into the shadow here. However, the shadow does go wide. However, he's going to earn himself another one, quick, sharp. Beast is going to see them through the Transcendence to just the Graviton Surge just a little bit, but Leo gets caught on the wrong side of the team fight. Ends up going down as Oberon found the perfect charge kill.
GEEKSTAR going to use Transcendence though, moving forward. I think they can win this fight, Jaws.
I think they can. Assassin is going to go down. Creative still in this game, just pummeling people from the back line. Gen.G are going to be able to defend. GEEKSTAR with 3 minutes still and 40 seconds to go. They threw a lot into that fight. Of course, remember, GEEKSTAR did change over to the Sombra. Are going to be nearing their first DMP now.
And also, GEEKSTAR going to have to be trying to build up once again towards another Graviton Surge, but it's very unlikely he'll be able to beat GEEKSTAR there. That's a very aggressive slam.
It goes straight into the shield of at least Assassin, so he's able to hold Oberon for the time being. That the counter charge back, tried to get to safety, gets locked up on the wall, so unfortunately goes down, but Gen.G still being able to defend here. They still got a couple of ults online as well.
Yeonwon over the course of that fight as well, managing to move the cart forward, stopping its slow trickle backwards. Does have that EMP ready to go, can strip away the shields of both Hu and rather Creative and Glisten. They do have those armor packs underneath.
You've got to find the supports, Harry.
There's the Graviton Surge.
Onto the payload. It's going to be able to push the cart a little bit further on. Waffle is going to go down as well. Means Gen.G can use that speed boost their advantage to hold GEEKSTAR in their tracks.
This is doing a great job of tracking down these supports as well, getting himself a little bit more ult charge, about a third of the way towards his next one now. And crucially, Gen.G are ready to bring out their own support ultimates to keep themselves in a great position. I believe our feet just jumped back slightly. Or is it forward?
No, this is back. It's
just died entirely. 1 second.
Okay.
We'll just try and open up the feed again, see if this is going to work out.
It seems the feed. So that's.
What do you think of Yeonwon Sombra? I think right now, like playing from the low ground is so good that Gen.G are actually playing on the high ground, making sure that Yeonwon is currently unable to really have the control of the engagement that you'd usually want, having a Sombra giving high ground advantage.
I was just going to say we narrate just the rest of the game. Just blind and not having a feed at all and just pretend stuff happened and just pretend it was epic.
Yeah, man. It was a great match.
It was a fantastic match.
I guess we'll just.
I think the feed is catching. No, I think the feed is catching up, guys. Do not worry. You won't have to see our faces for very much longer. But obviously, the previous fight, the EMP was used by GEEKSTAR. OWC also used the Graviton Surge. We're a little bit behind. I think we're just going to refresh our stream one more time, and we should be.
I don't know if accuracy with your mouse, dude. What is this DPI?
1500.
Oh man, that's insane.
It's not that. That's not 1500. I don't think it's that high. I'm gonna be honest. I think that's like kind of average. I do know a few people that are running on about 1000.
Okay, we're on 57 seconds now for our producer.
Okay. And we should be getting the game now. Okay.
Just like we do still
there
have
we go.
Gen.G
Okay,
in
we
control,
are in.
As
into the
does look like we're getting towards the end of the attack here for GEEKSTAR. They do have a couple of ultimates to work with right here, including some support ultimates and of course a Graviton Surge as well.
However, I don't know, Glister is just trying to bunny hop onto this high ground. However, I'm not sure this is really going to work out. It could just get boofed off. OWC's now on the payload. Graviton Surge does land. Glister manages to find it, but an instant Graviton Surge coming out from the other team as well. Shadow on the payload. Self-destruct goes off as Assassin ends up falling. Still nice posturing here. They know they had the EMP to follow up, but an instantaneous beat coming through from Fuse to save the rest of the team. And now a Transcendence to make sure they also stay in the fight. I mean, GEEKSTAR still have fuel in the tank as Leo has that Shadow available to him. They need to take him out. He tries for the 180 Shadow, but doesn't end up getting it off. Glister ends up taking him down as OT ticks through.
It's going to be so hard to beat out the rally here. There's going to be too much pressure onto GEEKSTAR. That was so good from Fuse, being able to circumnavigate that EMP, lay down the beat afterwards as well. Some great play from him, managing to save the bacon of Gen.G on the defense and halt the advance of GeekStars.
I think we have our feedback up online as well now. We're all good, guys. We're at 35 seconds now until we get into the game.
Beautifully synced.
Perfectly synced. Would you look at that? GeekStars on the defense. As you can see the payload. And again, I do apologize for the small interruption. And our interruption too.
Yeah.
It's okay. I think we narrated that well at the
Just
end.
getting some FaceTime.
Yeah. I don't really want it, but
yeah,
it's okay. I mean, we haven't really got makeup on or anything, so.
Yeah, it's a pretty gaudy shirt to be on camera for a while as well.
There is too much going on.
As is the usual for me. But Gen.G now stand to have a great win condition against GeekStar. 2 points.
Man, I want to see that robot show.
81 meters.
Was that Elvin 5000 versus, was it Basher?
Well, don't forget, their champion was recently released. Wrecking Ball was the champion of that arena.
How? That guy had claws. How could it?
Claws have been nerfed in the recent patch, dudes.
Is there going to be a new claw hero?
Claw hero.
Like a crab?
You heard it here first. Big leaks.
Big leaks. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Jeff Kaplan wants to know your location.
Oh no! He's taking a plane right here. That'd be a cool.
The private Team 4Jet.
Yeah. Guest appearance though on Korean Contenders.
We'll have to see what Gen.G can do. They are also going to potentially be rocking out here with this Bastion. They just try and control the opening. It's going to be Fuse, of course, playing on for Reinhardt, usually playing on the main support. Will there actually be a full cell swap up to quad DPS here from Gen.G? Just going to try and overwhelm GeekStar. Going to be a full disengagement here, trying to avoid the damage coming in from Stalker.
The best thing about these small entranceways as well, you can actually contest the payload from here too, but it does mean Stalker is going to be able to get so many rockets in here and do so much damage in a direct onto who does take him out. He was nowhere near that health pack. He couldn't do anything. They're going to hack the health pack away as well. GeekStar having everything taken away from them right now.
Everything is going, of course, for damage boosted rockets. Hey, they could even be able to spawn camp here onto who is now swapped over onto the Ana. Maybe wants that hit scan presence to try and get a little bit of extra pressure. And here is the potential for the spawn camp from Stalker.
Oh, they don't know. Oh, now they know where he is. There is no way he's going to be able to get out in time. Ana's so slow, plus she has no movement cooldowns to use. GeekStar is still going to be able to hold, of course. Like I mentioned, you can contest the payload from inside here. Sleep dart onto Stalker. Does end up getting taken out by who? The long range bionic rifle shot don't manage to take her. But the problem is, Glister has the premium on sightlines, managed to take out both the mech and the Ana.
But this entire time, the cart still hasn't moved. Leo having to be removed by force by that barrage.
Yeah, Leo's going to go down, and now the rest of GeekStar. They know the fight's pretty much over at this point, so they can just die on the payload. Oh, wow. Okay, he killed himself, and Young just right-clicking him.
Yeah, that's a lot of explosive. Too much for one Pharah to handle. Fuse doesn't have that resurrection ready. Had to recently resurrect, of course. Stalker after the long-range sleep from who. Creative can try and lock down the cart right now as it moves in towards its final destination. Trying to get the angle here.
Oh, the mines. That's... Oh, nice sleep dart, though. Creative gets pushed away. The mines do end up killing off Leo. So Leo has to contest in this horrible situation because you can't even use your Reinhardt shield through the mines at all. You have to kind of just face tank it as the Winston or hope you survive.
Even if you use your bubble shield, that can actually detonate multiple mines at once inside the shield and deliver too much burst damage to you and kill you. So it's not always the best play for the Winston. Wu Yao could be scouted out here. He knows Assassin swinging away right there. Does not actually find him. Can get a little bit of the circumvention here. Circumnavigating around.
Got to catch Waffle though. Graviton Surge comes out from Young One. Straight into Fire Grenade. Nothing you can do about that one. The beat is the only thing really that's going to save you in that instance, but they didn't have it online. Of course, they only just switched. Keeping Hual on the Sombra as he does have EMP. No ultimates gained either. Look at that. Only Creative with 30%. Like.
Smart engage there from GeekStar. But if Wu Yao was staying on that Sombra, he must have had the EMP available. So therefore, we'll just take the matters into our own hands.
Oh no, he messed it up! No, he messed up his Translocator. He couldn't actually get onto the high ground. That could have been a flip around for Gen.G. Small misplay cost them that fight. Using the nano as well, and now Leo's got a shatter. Young is going to be very close to that Graviton Surge if they do man the multi-man shatter. This is very, very awkward situation for Gen.G. Just cannot get this EMP off the way they want it. Time is ticking away.
0% translocator accuracy, and also if Wooyol gets that translocator, we may not
What
have time.
Oh my goodness!
180.
Leo 180 consistently stopping the hack going off. Wooyol had enough. He's just going to EMP instead, but a sound barrier is going to see the rest of the team through the fight. A nice hack onto Waffle, and now Wooyol can just take over. A self-destruct in the back lines from GABLEC will find absolutely nothing. And GEEKSTAR get pushed off the payload eventually.
Of course, Oberon being down does mean cannot participate in the cleanup, cannot get the additional ult charge to catch up with Leo. So now Leo is going to be all about where he can place the self-destruct if he can get enough pressure onto the shield of Oberon that he can try and sneak one through, but Glister's going to be trying to sneak through this Graviton Surge. Instead, GABLEC going to be looking for the eat here. The primary win condition needs to be mitigated. Yon1 could have been caught out there. There's going to be two potential.
He was looking for the defense matrix or the mech getting destroyed, and that's exactly what happened. Graviton Surge on top of the dead D.Va's mech. Stalker picks himself up a triple kill, and Gen.G are going to get to this third point, or pushing towards this third point, in fact. 3 minutes and 30 seconds. This map is going to end here, Harry, because GEEKSTAR didn't actually cap. They now need to defend for 82 meters.
It is do or die for the 0-2 team if they want to claim that first match win right here. They're going to be moving straight onto the card, getting aggressive. But
that was a perfect hack onto Leo. Wooyol's going to earn himself an EMP. There's no follow-up on top of that Graviton Surge. Blizzard takes that Assassin as well, so literally no one was swinging into it. Nano boost used at the end. Who needs to switch over? Like, staying on this honor, I think it's a death sentence. You have that Zen to have the pressure on the Reinhardt more often than not. They haven't got a D.Va, so they can't eat nades, but you can't land nades if there's a Reinhardt shield in front of you.
Yeah, swapping over now onto the Xayah and the Sombra. They want the same composition here as Gen.G, but Wooyol, he can be first on the EMP, and not only that, because who is now on that Zenyatta, his entire shielding can be stripped away.
Oh, he's going in.
Only 50 HP. It was a fake out once again from Wooyol, destructing it himself, trying to right now find one.
There he is. He got one. It was only Oberon, but Glister marches forward and takes out two. GABLEC's dead. They can't do anything now. Young1 did manage to find a hack on somebody. I'm not entirely sure who it was, but no one was able to get to him. Perfect positioning from Wooyol, just managing to get the EMP on one person, and then, hey, you got no shield. I can right-click into your front line. Glister finding two. You can see here, comes in. And then Glister had already killed off GABLEC, so couldn't even provide the shield to Leo. Wow, Gen.G turning it around. GEEKSTAR only managed to find the first map in the series, the Control. It's a pity they couldn't go onto it in the fifth map. Maybe they would have taken that as well. Gen.G with the victory, and GEEKSTAR still need to find a series in Contenders.
And it's also a beautiful fake out from Wooyol there as well. You saw him throw the translocator, then cancel it by using his interact key beforehand, and that could have even taken both the shields away from GABLEC, because often once you see that translocator coming, you know the EMP's coming, you're like, okay, I'm not going to have the shields available, so I might as well use them now, try and protect people from the incoming damage, or at least get some charge off of that hack so that I can better counterattack when people move into me. But the second you see that those shields are gone, that's when Glister can really become the big cat on campus, get those kills by just charging forward with so much charge himself, and also being able to protect Overwatch.
We know how much of a snowball and how out of control it can get if you do forego the first point, and they did, because they were running DPS, everybody was trapped in a small, very small confined building, and there was nothing GEEKSTAR could really do. They were hoping they could just last for as long as they could in using the Mega Health Pack, but even that was hacked away. I think Wooyol, especially at that last match, or last map even, was MVP for sure. EMPs were perfect, and the target focus as well from Gen.G was just so good.
Yeah, Wooyol also being able to stay on that for so long. You know you're getting a lot of value with a Sombra, and they're like, can we go through? No, just let me stay on Sombra. It'll work out, I promise. That was such a beautiful Earth Shadow there as well from Leo, catching at least 5 people, maybe 6. The cleanup was definitely there. At this point, GEEKSTAR looked like they knew exactly what they were going to be doing to try and get that second point hold. They kept getting the preemptive engagements while Wooyol was trying to set up an EMP. We saw Wooyol get the 0% translocator accuracy trying to go through that window, and Waffle was hiding out on the other side as well, ensuring he didn't get caught so they could use a sound barrier after, but the DPS was just too overwhelming, beating its way through the overshield. 750, not a huge amount when you're given the Discord orb and you can't shield.
It's feeling pretty good. And I can imagine Gliss is feeling pretty good as well. Comes in and just demolishes GEEKSTAR at the end of it all. Gen.G right now, they're 2-1 currently in the standings. GEEKSTAR sitting at 0-3 this week, or like next week. They need to turn it around. If Element Mystic also lose coming